to Revive Life. I'm naturopathic Dr. Joelle, and this is a TV show where you can participate and call in. Just share your questions or your stories with us. Call 61001. Today's show is for every single parent. No parent wants to miss this show. It's about children's stress and anxiety. Are we overscheduling our children? These are questions that we're going to find the answers to. We want to thank our viewer response. We had a gentleman actually respond and share with us, George from the RA Center. He's been the music director there and has been dancing for years. He's 94 years old and he shared his experience. His wife has Alzheimer's and he's been dancing for over 30 years to help manage his own health and also as well because he's a caregiver with someone with Alzheimer's. So thank you for that, George. Today's show, we want to understand what are the causes that are associated with children's anxiety. We want to learn about what are the symptoms because they don't necessarily always talk to us. So we need to understand as parents, what do we do, what do we watch for, and then what can we do. So this is all important information that we're going to get into. And we're very fortunate to have a really good expert. Meg Warwick is a clinical psychologist, and she has over 24 years of experience. So she'll be answering a lot of your questions and certainly mine as well. In the kitchen, we're going to be making bento boxes, which are high protein energy foods for your children. And we're going to be joined by Grandma Lee, and we're going to be joined by my son Kobe, who loves to cook up a storm as well. So again, feel free to join us, call in and participate. Today, for the first caller in, we have a book called What to Do When You Worry Too Much. And so this gives you good resources as a parent and gives you a stepwise outline as to what you can do to support your child. The important aspect is understanding what exactly is anxiety and stress, really. Stress is the perception of a dangerous situation, and I focus on the word perception because to other people it may not seem dangerous at all. For example, going to school for the first time may be fine for some kids, but yet is extremely frightening for other children. And the idea of perception can be looked at in three different ways. First of all, when you walk into a very crowded room, and let's say an office, for example, and you see books all over the place, or for a child going to a party and seeing lots of activities happening and the activities are already on the go and they walk in late and they see all this activity, they just don't know what to do. So in that circumstance, what we want to do is help educate our children and give them little baskets. So perhaps we're going to give them 10 baskets and we're going to point out that that area over there is for crafts, this area over here is if you're hungry, this is where you can get food. So we're breaking it up into smaller little compartments for them. So that's strategy number one. The second kind of perception of stress would be when, for example, you walk into a wide open space. And a perfect example of that would be when a child goes to school for the first day. In that circumstance, they're leaving this warm, comfortable environment, and all of a sudden they're going into this space that's new. They have no idea what to expect. And the way the mind works is the mind likes structure. So what I encourage people to do is actually put a jungle gym in your mind so that it can have points of reference or points of attachment. And as a parent, this is really what we want to do as well. The more the mind can go to a source that's similar, the more we can understand and create strategies. So the school system is excellent because what happens in kindergarten is they get to go to school early, they get to meet their teacher. So for example, when you drop off your child that first day, what you want to share with them is this is what the school looks like, this is what you have in your lunch, Mrs. Jones is your teacher, you're going to be sitting beside Sarah. And so for children or adults who experience more stress or anxiety, they need more information. The third type of anxiety or stress perception is when a person has a very difficult time making a decision. And basically what happens is they can't decide on whether to have an apple or an orange or to pick, I've seen it in adults, for example, they don't know whether to buy this house or that house. And there's so much anxiety that's centered around that. And the reason why is because they feel they need to make a perfect decision. So we're going to talk about perfectionism with Meg Warwick a little bit more, and she's going to give us an understanding of really what is perfectionism. I was inspired by a really wonderful book called The Outliers. And this is not written about children's anxiety, but I felt it brought in a very good perspective. In the Outliers book, it talks about the fact that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. And what we want to be mindful of is that if you're just learning how to ride a bike and you've only been on your bike for a day, then it's normal to fall down. And we're going to learn also in our fitness segment that there are certain techniques and ways to fall down physically, but we want to help people understand that there are emotional ways that you fall down and pick yourself back up, and we want to give people strategies. So we are going to lead into a little bit of a video that's going to highlight different symptoms that your child might experience, and you can share that with your children as well as looking at that yourself. Hi. So now's the time to grab your pen and pencil, and this is our Revivelife health quiz. True or false? Anxiety could be related to having difficulties with change. 2, anxiety may be the underlying cause of bullying. 3, alcohol, smoking, or drug abuse may be related to social anxiety. 4, fluctuations in blood sugar may be related to anxiety. 5, food intolerances or allergies may make anxiety worse. And I'm going to throw one last one in. Dreams can be a clue in what's happening in your children with respect to anxiety. So we're going to be excited to be joined next in the kitchen, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be joined with Grandma Lee and Kobe Villeneuve. We're going to be learning how to make bento boxes, we're going to be making rice balls, and we're going to be making omelet slices, which are a really high source of protein. And we're also going to answer your simple questions about eggs. Is it important to eat the egg white and not the egg yolk? And all of those great questions. So join us shortly and we'll get cooking in the kitchen.